And that's why I think DDP has a good chance.
We'll see. I'm very interested to see who prevails.
I think people don't understand when you're in there and you got a guy that never takes a step backwards.
Right.
It
And doesn't
throws
get tired.
you off. You never can plant.
Right.
So you're not hitting your power shots. You're not doing the damage that you would if you were dictating. You're not going on your terms when you're going backwards the whole time. And that's why I think DDP has a good chance.
And then you've got DDP and Khamzat Chimaev. Who emerges from that?
But DDP, man, he is something else. Bro. For so long, we thought he just was bad. He's not. He's really good. He's like really, really good.
Joe Rogan recently threw down a bold challenge to Khamzat Chimaev, telling him outright that he might not win against the South African powerhouse, Dricus du Plessis.
Dana White confirms Khamzat Chimaev is next.
Dricus Khamzat is a pretty big fight that you guys can put on right now.
Yeah, I would give DDP the advantage over Khamzat right now.
Styles make fights, and you never seen Dricus fight. Good wrestler, and Khamzat's one of the best.
Khamzat just shoots from like 15 feet away and gets a hold of your
When I
legs.
look at
And you got to think his endurance is probably going to be better at 85 than it was at 70 because of the cut.
Yeah.
For Khamzat, it's like 85 is really where he should have been all along.
But again, he gassed out against Usman. Usman went up to 85.
Usman's a world champion. You know, in the third round, Usman did what a world champion does. He rallied.
Rogan, usually one of the most confident figures in the sport, didn't mince words when it came to du Plessis' chances. For Chimaev, this fight may just be a true test of his abilities, and it seems like even some of the brightest minds in MMA aren't sure about the outcome. With a handful of fighters and experts weighing in, the consensus is clear. This one is going to be a nail-biter.
Who you got? Chimaev versus DDP. I've got DDP over Chimaev. I've got Dricus du Plessis winning. I think Dricus survives round 1 and finishes Chimaev in the later rounds. Dricus has a really good fundamental base in jiu-jitsu and submission grappling, and it's something that not a lot of people know about. Dricus is bigger, stronger, I think more gritty and heart. He has more heart than Whittaker by far. He's tougher, he's more durable. He doesn't have the teeth problems that Whittaker had. So I think he's going to break Chimaev in the later rounds.
Ilia Taporia, a fighter who's trained alongside both men, described the upcoming bout as one of the most exciting in recent memory. Taporia believes Chimaev's relentless, all-out aggression can certainly shake up du Plessis, but he's equally intrigued by du Plessis' defensive capabilities and unconventional style. Unpredictable style.
He's the man. He's a savage. He calls him his shots. He finishes his opponents. When he goes inside the octagon, you know that that guy goes for the finish. He's not looking for the decision. That's why I respect Khamzat. So he deserves to fight for the title as soon as possible. We're gonna have an amazing fight because I love Dricus du Plessis. He's a great human being. I have a great relationship with him. I have a great relationship with Khamzat also. But as a fan of mixed martial arts, it's gonna be a very exciting fight. I hope the best man wins, and I wish best of the luck to both of them.
Tim Welch, a coach with an uncanny understanding of the psychological side of MMA, brings in a fresh perspective. Du Plessis might just have the mental edge. While Chimaev is undeniably dangerous, Welch suggests that du Plessis' ability to stay unpredictable, not just physically but mentally, could be a game changer.
I mean, I would love to see Khamzat versus Strickland too. Khamzat said in training, I submitted him multiple times. In a fight, it's a little different. And Strickland, you've seen Strickland get dumped before. He is an expert at getting up. He's really good wrestling, really good jiu-jitsu. But just like you said, can you survive the first fucking 3 minutes with that dude? Gnarly.
That's fire.
I miss the crazy Khamzat, but now that he's getting into these top 5 elite guys, I mean, it's probably better that he's not crazy Khamzat.
Dude, I mean, that looked like crazy Khamzat to me.
All week being respectful of the press conferences, respectful of like everything.
Yeah.
It was a lot different than he used to be.
DDP has a way of poking at opponents too, though, so he might be able to pull that crazy Khamzat back out of him.
I'd love to see DDP beat him.
Jamahal Hill, a UFC fighter who's seen his fair share of battles, also has concerns about Chimaev's stamina. He acknowledged Chimaev's raw talent, but pointed out that du Plessis, who has continuously evolved as a fighter, is no pushover. Hill warned fans not to sleep on du Plessis, reminding everyone that he's the kind of fighter who will make things uncomfortable for his opponents, even when they think they have the upper hand. Chimaev's explosive nature might work wonders early, but Hill predicts that du Plessis' sheer determination could turn the tide side as the fight drags on. Hill pointed to Duplessis' ability to fight through adversity and turn the tables, making him a real threat in this matchup.
Yeah, I've seen Chimaev fades towards the end of fights. As we've seen with the Usman fight, I think if the Usman fight was 5 rounds, I believe Chimaev might lose that fight. You know, the striking, I believe, is kind of like neck and neck, but from what I've seen as far as like the grappling, I believe Chimaev is the more technical, well-rounded grappler, if you will. And but Duplessis is strong for that weight class. So it's an interesting match. I think it's an interesting match that it can, you know what I mean? So we're gonna see. They've been saying since the beginning Chimaev was destined for title and for championship. So we're gonna see if he can get it done. I can't doubt Duplessis, bro. Every time any questions that I've ever had or any doubts I've ever had about him, he comes out and he wins.
Even Jack Hermanson, who's had a front row seat to Chimaev's explosive early rounds, sees this fight in a somewhat different light. Hermanson has no doubt that Chimaev will likely dominate the opening rounds, thanks to his speed, strength, and aggression. But he also brought up a crucial point. If Duplessis can survive that early onslaught, he may just have the stamina and grit to make things difficult for Chimaev as the fight progresses. It's the old adage of the fight doesn't start until the 3rd round. Hermanson suggests that Chimaev's early dominance might not last, and Duplessis' ability to wear him down could play a significant role in the outcome.
How will that fight with him and DDP play out? Because that's, I think, the fight of the year right there.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be an amazing fight, and I think Khamzat is gonna pull it off. But I do think that, you know, especially early, I think it's gonna be tough for Dricus. But if he can push the fight into the later rounds, I think he can have an advantage. So it's gonna be a really interesting one. But I'll bet my money on Khamzat in that one. But you know, not like some people think that he's just gonna run him over. But I think it's gonna be a tough fight.
Yeah, I think so too. I think it's really interesting, especially like you said, if it goes into the later rounds. We've seen DDP go 5 rounds. I know he does look tired, right? Like he has this weird style where he kind of looks like he slows down, but he's going 5 rounds though, right? Like that's something that's kind of interesting. Where I don't believe Chimaev has before. So.
No, exactly, and we have seen like in the was it like the Burns and the Usman fight where he looks a little bit more tired in the later rounds. So
Demetrius Mighty Mouse Johnson, who's had the chance to study both men up close, believes Duplessis' style might just give him the upper hand. Johnson pointed out that Chimaev's grappling and striking flow seamlessly, making him an unpredictable opponent in his own right. But when it comes to Duplessis, Johnson sees something different. A fighter who's difficult to predict, especially on the feet. If Duplessis can keep the fight standing and avoid Chimaev's early takedowns, Johnson believes that the South African's awkward movement and elusive footwork could be the key to frustrating Chimaev's aggressive attack. His unorthodox style could be just what Duplessis needs to get under Chimaev's skin. If he can weather the storm early and make the fight more drawn out, Johnson sees Duplessis as a real threat.
DDP, Khamzat. I got DDP. DDP. I think he'll survive the 1st round. 2nd round will be competitive. He might get taken down again. But I think he'll shoot in. I don't know. If I'm DDP, I'm shooting in on Chimaev. Okay. If he is getting taken down, he'd be like, I'm pulling guard. I'm not going to be cramped up against a cage. If you shoot early, we're in the center of the cage. I'm in guard. Yep. So I think he takes the center early. Doesn't stuff it. Yep. Flops right to his back, but it'll be so easy for Chimaev, whereas other people might put up a bit of sprawl. Yeah. So I think DDP round 4, round 3 TKO.
Reiner Derritter, a fighter with extensive experience in training alongside both Chimaev and Duplessis, brought a unique angle to the table. According to Derritter, Chimaev's aggression could very well work against him if Duplessis is able to survive the early rounds. Duplessis' unpredictable footwork, awkward angles, and unconventional rhythm could be the perfect antidote to Chimaev's usual pace. Chimaev thrives on dominating his opponents early, but if he can't break Duplessis early on, that's where things could get tricky. Duplessis' resilience and his ability to keep calm under pressure could force Chimaev to rethink his strategy and dig deeper into his reserves.
Dricus will win, yeah. I don't think Khamzat is going to get him out of there early, and Dricus is a motherfucker, man. He keeps going, and every round, though it doesn't really look better, he looks better. His technique, he gets better every round, and I see Dricus like finishing him in the late rounds, like 4th round, 5th round maybe, with a lot of volume. I see Khamzat maybe taking him down in the first, second round, getting to his back maybe. Yeah, I don't know. I think Dricus has a good shot.
Brendan Schaub, another experienced voice in MMA analysis, agrees that Chimaev's best shot lies in those explosive early rounds. But if he fails to secure a finish quickly, Schaub predicts that Du Plessis will start to take control as the fight wears on. Schaub believes that the size difference might start to show its effects, with Chimaev possibly struggling to maintain the same intensity in the later rounds. As Chimaev's pace slows, Du Plessis' strength and composure could shine through, allowing him to build momentum and ultimately turn the fight in his favor.
Khamzat DDP.
Who you got in that? Let's start with that. Khamzat DDP. Who you got?
I
got a feeling DDP wins that.
I have Khamzat.
I don't.
Yeah.
If Khamzat can get done the first round and a half, maybe. I just think that thing goes past the third and DDP takes over. I think he TKOs him.
I think Khamzat is a better striker, and I think Khamzat's a better wrestler, and I think DDP is a killer. But I think it's Khamzat's time.
Could be totally off on Khamzat. He's a minus 200. Dude, take my fucking money.
Really? You got DDP?
Yes. Especially as a dog. I figured it'd be the favorite.
I have to say,
I figured DDP would be like a minus 150. Well, Khamzat, I look at the Gilbert Burns fight. You know, you look at the Kamaru Usman fight. You're like, okay.
Yeah, but he did out wrestle Kamaru a lot.
Darren Till, a fighter who's trained closely with Chimaev, sees this fight as a nightmare for Du Plessis. Till believes that Chimaev's explosive power, pace, and sheer aggression will overwhelm Du Plessis in the early rounds. He argues that if Chimaev can take control early, Du Plessis will struggle to find his rhythm and could end up overwhelmed. Intensity in the first 2 rounds could very well be too much for Du Plessis to handle, and if the fight plays out this way, Till is convinced that Chimaev will get his hand raised.
If I went back to the UFC now, as the middleweight I could be, I'd fucking tear that Dricus' head off. Tell Dricus I said fuck him, by the way. The little fucking gobshite. Because I can't stand his guts, because he's so shit, he's so good.
You think he beats Khamzat, your boy?
No, look, I'm with respect, I'm never going to look past Dricus because he trains hard, he's super dedicated, he's super strong, and he's got that awkward style that doesn't make any sense. I think Khamzat will beat him inside the 2 rounds, I really do believe that. But look, Khamzat knows, I was speaking to Khamzat on the FaceTime the other day because I'm meant to be going out to Dubai to help with the camp. Khamzat knows it's a tough fight, but, you know, Khamzat trains like a beast. I do think Khamzat gets it in 2 rounds done. You know what I'm saying?
By the way, you're looking svelte. You're looking great. How much are you weighing right now?
Everyone's been saying that, you know, that I'm looking fabulous.
Yeah, you are.
Ariel, let's just go. Do I look fabulous?
I think you look fabulous. The teeth are just like blinding me. I wish I was wearing sunglasses right now, but you're looking fit. Way fitter than the last time, right?
Yeah.
I thought you were going to show me another thing there. It was getting very low, the camera. It was weird. I was,
whoa.
It was uncomfortable.
Whoa. Only my missus gets to see that. Don't be disrespectful.
Michael Venom Paige also weighed in, and while he praised Chimaev's adaptability between striking and grappling, he couldn't help but acknowledge Du Plessis' mental toughness and ability to thrive under pressure. Paige pointed out that while Chimaev can keep his opponents guessing with his diverse skill set, Du Plessis' ability to weather storms and stay composed in chaotic situations makes him a wild card. The key, Paige believes, is whether Du Plessis can make it out of the early rounds without being overwhelmed. If he does, the fight becomes much harder to predict.
I don't see anybody beating him.
I like Khamzat too. I think he's been really incredible.
Yeah, definitely. He looked better in the last fight. Obviously, it didn't last long, so we didn't get to see it, but normally he's like Crash Bandicoot the first round, and then his energy dips.
DDP has been interesting, though.
I feel like Dricus is very underrated for a belt holder here.
But that's the thing. If anybody was to, it would be Dricus, because that is the muscular endurance. If you look at like some of the fights nowadays, Merab, Dricus, these guys that have the muscular endurance to be fighting at 7 the whole fight. And you got someone like Merab that's 7-8 from start to finish, mate, that's difficult to deal with. And Dricus seems exactly the same. He's like 7-8 the whole time. So if you don't kill him and get him out of there in that first round, second round, then you're gonna have a problem for the rest of the fight.
Ariel Helwani shared the general view that Chimaev will likely dominate early on, but also added a key observation: Du Plessis' chances improve as the fight progresses. Du Plessis has shown a remarkable ability to adapt to tough situations and wear his opponents down in drawn-out battles. battles. Helwani believes that if Chimaev can't put Du Plessis away early, the South African might find a way to exploit Chimaev's potential fatigue, which could swing the fight in his favor.
It's one
Now,
of the
which
great
direction are you
things.
putting that down? Are you transferring that to
I think DDP figures it out. I think he takes him to deep water and he figures it out, and I think it's like a learning lesson for him and all this stuff.
I like it.
Yeah.
Yoel Romero, a grappling expert, agreed that Chimaev's wrestling will be crucial to his success in this matchup. However, Romero sees Du Plessis' toughness as something that could give Chimaev real trouble. While Chimaev's wrestling pressure is potent, Romero suggests that if Du Plessis can survive the early grappling exchanges, he might force Chimaev to dig deeper into his reserves. If the fight turns into a battle of wills, Romero believes Du Plessis could be the one to turn the tide.
1640. 1640. Khamzat.
You have what? Sorry, who do you think? 60 Dricus?
16% for Chimaev and 40% for Du Plessis. Yeah, that's a way.
So you think Chimaev? You're kind of slightly leaning towards Chimaev.
Yes.
Why? Why do you think?
Wrestling. They're wrestling. They're wrestling for Chimaev right now. It's very, very dangerous.
Sean Strickland believes that Dricus Du Plessis has what it takes to hand the undefeated fighter his first loss. According to Strickland, Du Plessis possesses the right tools to nullify Chimaev's wrestling, a critical element of the Chechen fighter's game. Strickland, having grappled with Chimaev in the past, is confident that if the fight extends beyond the explosive early rounds, Du Plessis' ability to handle Chimaev's pressure will be key.
Did you see DDP and Khamzat got announced?
Oh no.
Yeah.
Where's that gonna be at?
Chicago.
Oh no. They're letting the terrorists in.
Do you think he beats DDP or do you think DDP retains?
You know it's hard. So those little Chechen, dude, they can grapple, and like someone like me who I've been training with for years, I usually could counter wrestle and grapple him. So I just don't know if Dricus can be able to counter wrestle him. But if he can, I think he wins all hands down. You know, I sparred the Chechen, like hands down. I think Dricus wins. But it's just gonna come down to like, are you gonna be able to like counter wrestle? And like you can, it's not hard.
Michael Bisping, a UFC legend known for his sharp insights, pointed out that Chimaev has yet to prove himself in extended fights. While he's shown tremendous explosiveness in his earlier bouts, Chimaev's performances against Gilbert Burns and Kamaru Usman exposed signs of fatigue when the action went past the 3-round mark. Bisping acknowledged Chimaev's undeniable finishing power, but warned that his inability to sustain that energy over longer periods could be a real disadvantage against someone as durable and relentless as Du Plessis.
Khamzat Chimaev is a force of nature, and he only knows how to fight one speed, and that's why people really enjoy watching this guy fight. He goes forward, he's a straight up killer, he's looking to take you down, do damage, knock you out, squeeze your head off. Whatever it is, he's trying to do damage right from the opening bell. And that's what he's done to almost everybody. 14 wins, 12 stoppages. Only time he's gone to a decision is twice against Gilbert Burns and Kamaru Usman. And we know what happened there. He got a little bit tired. And against Kamaru Usman, well, he was kind of lucky to get that decision. I'm not talking shit about Khamzat Chimaev. I think he's phenomenal. But I think he's got some problems here going 5 rounds against Dricus Du Plessis. We've never seen him go 5 rounds. But we do know the man is a finisher, he is a phenom, he's a freak of nature, he's a strong son of a bitch, he's a great wrestler. He might not have the accolades of a Bold Nickel, but holy shit, when it comes to being effective, Khamzat Chimaev is right up there. He's one of the best finishers.
Robert Whittaker, a veteran of the sport who has experienced Chimaev's grappling firsthand, is under no illusions about the task at hand for Du Plessis. Whittaker stressed that stopping Chimaev's first takedown will be an enormous challenge in itself. From Whittaker's perspective, Chimaev's takedowns are not only fast, but also immensely powerful, making them incredibly difficult to avoid or defend against. Whittaker's own experience with Chimaev left him with lasting memories. His dental injuries following their encounters serve as a stark reminder of the kind of ferocity Chimaev brings to the table.
Khamzat and DDP, the next fight. Who do you think is going to walk away as the champion?
I can't see anyone really stopping Chimaev's takedowns. Like, his takedowns are so hard to stop. It's super high level. Can DDP drag it into those later rounds? Can it get through the first grappling exchanges and then start to capitalize on his just like persistence, like doggedness to go away? Honestly, if Chimaev can't get DDP out of there, DDP wins. DDP wins almost every fight. You can't get rid of him, right? Because he's like mold, dude.
Finally, Kaio Baralio raised an interesting point about Chimaev's future. Rumors have circulated that if Chimaev wins the middleweight title, he could retire, having already achieved fame and financial success. Whether these rumors hold any weight or not, they add a layer of intrigue to the fight. What's at stake not just for the fighters, but for the sport as a whole.
Are you going to be riding with the DDP for this one, or you think Khamzat is going to walk away the champion?
Actually, right now, it's hard to bet against DDP. I almost bet against him, and he always shoot my mouth. But it's hard to bet against Khamzat. I think this fight can be really, really fast as the Whittaker fight. But I can see this fight going into the second, the third round, and then I see some advantage for Strickland. You know what I mean?
With all these takes and predictions swirling, it's clear that this fight is far from a predictable one. Whether it's Chimaev's early explosiveness or du Plessis' ability to turn the fight into a war of attrition, this matchup promises to keep everyone on the edge of their seats. It might be one of the most unpredictable bouts in recent MMA history, and no one can say for sure which fighter will come out on top. But one thing's for certain, it's going to be a fight to remember.